Hey, everybody, OGG, Overt Go Green. Got another deck tech for you today. But before we get to the deck, I got 3 questions for you. 1, do you like Hydras? 2, do you like those cute little pest tokens? And 3, do you still got a soft spot in your heart for the Ozolith? If you answered yes to all those questions, whew, this deck is for you. This is Pestering Hydras. Okay? This is a weird one, everybody. So, strap yourself in. Got 2 copies of the Ozolith. It's a legendary artifact. Costs 1. And whenever a creature leaves the battlefield, if it has counters on it, put those counters on the Ozolith. Keep in mind, this is not just +1/+1 counters. And it's not when they die, it's when they leave the battlefield. So if they get exiled or they get sacked, you can still get the counters onto the Ozolith. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, any counters on the Ozolith, you may move all of them onto target creature. Okay, so what creatures are we playing, right, that have counters? Well, Moss Pit Skeleton here, he can have a counter on him. And he's a good early blocker if I need him. I also got 3 Grakmaw. Grakmaw is, a 3/3. He comes into play with 3 +1/+1 counters. He makes a token when he dies. His counters move. He has a token. His counters get bigger. I don't know why this card has the extended art main card, but no extended art token. It's really weird. He's a Hydra, obviously. So that's another card that has counters. There's old Palukranos Unchained. He has counters, right? Good old, starts as a 6/6, but if you escape him, he's a 12/12. And he's just a big old house, right? Got 3 Boneyard Lurker. Notice this is a card that goes well onto our creatures with counters, right? It mutates well onto them. More importantly, it returns target permanent card. Doesn't have to be a creature. So it can come get back some of either our other enchantments, or more importantly, it can get back Mazemind Tome, right? And Mazemind Tome is the classic artifact that just draws cards, lets you scry, lets you draw cards, gains you life, lets you stay in the game. Such a good card. Criminally underrated, right? Or underplayed, maybe is a better term. I got 4 Unexpected Fangs. Give the guy a lifelink counter. Can go on the Ozolith. And gets a +1/+1 counter. Very good. Good instant spell. Gain a little life, stay in the game. This gives a guy a trample counter. And +3/+3. Once again, another good card. Broken Wings. Destroy. This is our main source of artifact enchantment removal. Also, we have a weak spot to creatures with flying. So we need Broken Wings in here to deal with flying creatures and artifacts and enchantments. We have Call the Death Dweller. Now, it does have to get 2 creature cards with total mana value, 3 or less, out of the graveyard. Obviously, it can get back a Grakmaw, which is great. It can get back Moss Pit Skeleton, which is also pretty good if I just need a blocker. But its main job is to keep recycling Grakmaw and just keep powering out blockers. And I have 1 Iron Scale Hydra. It just gets counters. I had a one of, and I wanted to run this thing. Throw it in the deck, But here's the little trick that really makes this deck. Oh, and then I got 4 Hydra's Growth, makes a guy really big. Puts a counter on him, doubles the counters. Here's the thing. When they finally decide to blow us out with a removal spell, right? We cast at instant speed, Tend the Pest, right? And it's green-black. It's a new card, so I'm going to go over it. It's green-black instant. As an additional cost to cast the spell, sack a creature. Make X 1/1 black and green pest creature tokens with the normal pest mumbo-jumbo. The crazy thing about this card is, because I sack it, the counters go on the Ozolith, right? Let's say I just sack a straight-up regular old Palukranos. And the 6 +1/+1 counters go onto the Ozolith. Then I have 6 targets, 6 different 1/1 bodies to keep pumping those counters onto. And it gives me just such a big range of bodies that it tends to just run away with the game, just raw number of creatures, right? It's shocking how well this card works. It's hard to wrap your head around how well this card works. I have a hard time wrapping my head around how good this is. And then I play 24 land, 1 Temple of Malady, 1 Necroblossom Snarl, 4 Jungle Hollow, 9 Forest, 9 Swamp. And that's the entire deck, right? So maybe you got a couple of these random cards sitting around. Maybe you opened a bunch of Zendikar and you have some Grakmaws, right? Maybe you have some Pelucranoses, right? 1 or 2. Maybe you have an Iron Scale Hydra, 1 or 2, right? If you don't have any Maze Mind Tomes, this is actually worth spending wild cards on. Maybe you got an Ozolith or 2. It's one of my pet cards. I love this card. But everything else is super cheap, and if you were going to build this in paper, outside of Maze Mind Tome, this deck is cheap to build in paper. Like, maybe like $70. Maybe. Probably less than $70. What am I saying? Just from looking here. I think maybe Maze Mind Tome, maybe Ozolith is worth a couple bucks. Yeah, but there is not much here, right? There is not much here to this deck. Anyway, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Please leave them down below in the comments. Look ahead to a gameplay video coming out soon. Otherwise, if you dig the content, I'd appreciate a thumbs up or a sub or both. Otherwise, this is OGG out.